Good evening and welcome to Express News with me, Deepika, your daily half-an-hour window that brings you 100 news and updates from the country and the world in just 30 minutes. Let's begin. India's President Draupadi Murmu inaugurated World Homeopathy Day on Wednesday. She said homeopathy should focus more on conducting research to make more people trust it. April the 10th is being celebrated as World Homeopathy Day, a day that serves as a global platform to make people aware about the principles and benefits of homeopathic medicine. India's Vice President and Chairman of the Upper House, Rajya Sabha, Jagdeep Thankar, administered oath to the newly elected members of Rajya Sabha and Parliament House building on Wednesday. Prime Minister Narendra Modi held a rally in southern state of Tamil Nadu. Hitting out at the opposition, Prime Minister said that the youth of Tamil Nadu is suffering under DMK. While addressing the gathering in Mettupalayam town, Prime Minister said his party will do everything possible to ensure all-round progress of Tamil Nadu. The opposition party of Indian National Congress released a list of candidates from the southern state of Andhra Pradesh days ago, the assembly polls. India Samajwadi Party released its party manifesto on Wednesday ahead of the general elections, promising caste-based census by 2025. In the vision document, SP President Akhilesh Yadav commits to introduce regular recruitment in the armed forces. The Samajwadi Party is contesting elections as part of the INDIA alliance. India's Union Home Minister Amit Shah is campaigning in West Bengal's Balurghat. Addressing the gathering, Shah committed to stop infiltration in the state of Bengal and Assam under the BJP government. Amit Shah also held a rally in Gaya in the state of Bihar. India's Defence Minister Rajnath Singh held public rallies in Saharanpur and Bulandshahr cities of the northern state of Uttar Pradesh that will see polling in all 7 phases of the general elections. Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath held a rally in Kathua in the northern state of Jammu and Kashmir and thanked Prime Minister Narendra Modi for ending terrorism in the region. India's Army Chief General Manoj Pandey inaugurated new and enhanced facilities at Army Hospital Research and Referral in Delhi on Wednesday. General Pandey also unveiled the cutting-edge Command Hospital complex in Udhampur to cater to the needs of the armed forces personnel. The Indian Air Force has deployed a rapid action medical team at a high-altitude base in eastern Ladakh since the 1st of April as part of Operation Sadbhavna. Fishermen released from a Sri Lankan prison reached Chennai airport on Wednesday. 21 fishermen from Ramanathapuram and nearby areas were arrested by Sri Lankan Navy allegedly for cross-border fishing. At least 12 lives were lost and 14 people were injured after a bus fell into a mine pit in central India's Durg district in the state of Chhattisgarh on Tuesday. India's President Draupadi Murmu and Prime Minister Narendra Modi expressed their grief and condoled the loss of lives in an accident. Indian Council of Cultural Relations honoured the winners of the second edition of Pratibha Sangam competition, hailing from 7 countries alongside ICCR's international students. The southern Indian state of Tamil Nadu hosts one of the largest butterfly conservatories in Asia, which is home to 129 varieties of the butterfly species at Tiruchirappalli. Domestic benchmark indices closed on record highs on Wednesday. The 30-share BSE Sensex climbed 354 points to settle at an all-time high of 75,038. During the day, the index hit a high of 75,105.14. Broader Nifty of the NSE advanced by 111 points to close at a record peak of 22,753. During the day, it jumped 132 points to reach a lifetime intraday peak of 22,775.8. Indian rupee rose 12 paise to close at 83.19 against the US dollar on Wednesday. Gold futures maturing on the 5th of June stood at 71,371 per 10 grams on Multi-Commodity Exchange of India Limited. Silver futures maturing on the 3rd of May stood at 82,745 rupees per kilogram on the MCX. Apple has reportedly ramped up its iPhone production in India, hitting a remarkable $14 billion in the last fiscal year and doubling its output in the country in what could be seen as a diversification in manufacturing beyond China. Oil prices rose on Wednesday after 2 days of losses as a deadlock in Gaza ceasefire talks renewed uncertainty about security of supply from West Asia. Brent crude futures were up 30 cents at $89.72 per barrel. The S&P 500 posted nominal gains on Tuesday, a day ahead of major inflation data, weighed down by financial stocks as investors brace for major U.S. banks to kick off earnings reporting season on the 12th of April. Fitch cut its outlook on China's sovereign credit rating to negative on Wednesday, citing risks to public finances as the economy faces increasing uncertainty in its shift to new growth models. Fitch expects China's gross domestic product to fall to 4.5% this year from 5.2% last year amid persistent weakness in the property market and weak consumer spending. U.S. President Joe Biden and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's Gaza policy was a mistake and urged Israel to call for a ceasefire. In an interview to a U.S. Spanish-language TV channel, Biden calls for a ceasefire and total access to all food and medicine going into Gaza. Biden's remarks on a ceasefire marked a shift from his previous comments in which he has said that burden lies with Hamas to agree to a truce and hostages release deal. Meanwhile, an in-person meeting of Israeli and U.S. officials on the planned operation in the Gaza city of Rafah are expected next week. Israel says aid is moving into Gaza more quickly. It said 468 aid trucks moved into Gaza on Tuesday, following 419 on Monday. The UK joined 8 other nations in an international large-scale dropping of essential aid, coinciding with the end of Ramadan. In a speech at the Australian National University, Australian Foreign Minister Penny Wong on Tuesday said recognizing Palestinian state would make a two-state solution irreversible. In northern Italy, emergency teams are currently engaged in search and rescue efforts after a tragic fire and explosion claimed 3 lives at a hydroelectric power plant near Bologna. The utility group Enel confirmed the fire and assured that dam basin wasn't damaged and the plant was offline, ensuring no impact on electricity supply. The cause remains unspecified. Arizona's top court on Tuesday upheld an 1864 law that bans, actually 1864 law that bans nearly all abortions. The court, however, also put its ruling on hold for the moment and sent the case back to a lower court to hear additional arguments. Court's ruling outlaws abortion from the moment of conception, except when it is necessary to save the life of the mother, and it makes no exceptions for rape or incest. Arizona Governor Katie Hobbs, in her first remark after top court's ruling, said the ban is extreme and hurts women. Denouncing Arizona abortion ban, the U.S. President Joe Biden said on Tuesday that millions of Arizonans will soon live under an even more extreme and dangerous ban. Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida will hold summit with U.S. President Joe Biden, showcasing closer security and economic ties between the allies. Two leaders are also expected to announce measures to enhance security cooperation to enable greater coordination and integration of the forces. Philippines President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. said the upcoming trilateral summit with US and Japan will include an agreement to maintain security and freedom of navigation in the South China Sea. Ireland's parliament has elected Simon Harris as the country's new and youngest ever prime minister to succeed Leo Varadkar. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi congratulated Simon Harris, who was elected to the parliament at 24 and appointed to the cabinet before he turned 30. The parents of the teenager who killed 4 students in the 2021 school shooting in Oxford were each sentenced to 10 to 15 years of prison. This is a rare case of parents to be held criminally responsible for a mass school shooting committed by their child. South Korean officials has begun counting ballots after polls closed. Voting is seen as a referendum on President Yoon Suk-yeol. Member countries of the Organization of American States rejected the raid by Ecuadorian police on the Mexican embassy to arrest a former official. A second extraordinary session of the OAS Permanent Council will be held today in Washington to find an amicable solution to the breakdown of bilateral relations between Ecuador and Mexico. Venezuelan former oil minister has been arrested in a corruption probe into state oil company PDVSA. Former finance minister and a businessman have also been detained. The case involves a network of PDVSA executives who used their positions to carry out illegal operations, including some involving cryptocurrencies. Bolivian doctors went on a national strike on Tuesday to protest a retirement bill they claim will force them to retire when they turn 65 years old. In Bolivia, the voluntary retirement age is set at 58 years old for men and 55 for women. In US, 4 Chicago police officers shot at a suspect nearly 100 times in less than a minute after the man opened fire on them during a traffic stop last month. A fire broke out on Wednesday morning in a residential building in Hong Kong's bustling Kowloon district, killing 5 people. Thai authorities postponed the hearing regarding the indictment of the former Prime Minister Thaksin Shinawatra over a royal insult complaint until the 29th of May. An area of low pressure in the Atlantic Ocean brought coastal flooding, rough seas and rain to parts of England and western France early this week. Weather warnings were issued across France's Brittany due to threats of Storm Pierrick. That cold brings strong winds to the region. Transport was disrupted in parts of Normandy, while several regions in France were placed on orange alert. Russia and Kazakhstan ordered more than 1 lakh people to evacuate after swiftly melting snow swelled mighty rivers beyond bursting point in the worst flooding for at least 70 years. The deluge of melted water overwhelmed scores of settlements in the Ural Mountains, Siberia and areas of Kazakhstan close to the rivers. A state of emergency has been declared in Tyumen, a major oil-producing region of Western Siberia, which is also the largest hydrocarbon basin in the world, due to risk of floods. Delhi experienced scorching temperatures on Tuesday as the mercury soared to its highest maximum level this season, hitting 38 degrees Celsius. This also marked a significant departure, standing 3 notches above the season's average. The Indian Meteorological Department warned of heatwave conditions in isolated areas of Saurashtra and Kutch until the 11th of April. In the national capital, Delhi, temperatures might also increase to 40 degrees Celsius next week. The IMD also predicts rainfall in Delhi on the 13th and the 14th of April, accompanied by thunderstorms, offering a temporary respite from the sweltering heat. Kenyan conservationists fret about licensed hunters across the border in Tanzania, which are an emerging threat to the elephants that are crucial to its tourism business. Conservationists and Kenyan officials have urged Tanzania to restrict trophy hunters to its heartland. Nobel Prize laureate physicist Peter Higgs has died at the age of 94. His theory of an undetected particle in the universe changed science and was vindicated by a Nobel Prize-winning discovery half a century later. The discovery of the Higgs boson in 2012 was widely hailed as the biggest advance in knowledge about the cosmos for over 30 years and pointed physics towards ideas that were once science fiction. Morning Aarti was performed on the second day of Navratri at Chandewala Temple in New Delhi on Wednesday. Devotees thronged to the temple in large numbers to offer prayers. Navratri holds significance as it marks the beginning of Hindu New Year as well. United Arab Emirates, along with other Gulf Cooperation Council countries and many Arab nations, celebrated Eid ul-Fitr on Wednesday. Some parts of India, including Kerala and Union territories of Leh and Kargil, celebrated Eid on Wednesday. Eid ul-Fitr, determined by the sighting of the crescent moon, will be celebrated in most parts of India on Thursday and is also supposed to denote the start of the Shawwal month in the lunar Islamic calendar. April the 10th is being celebrated as World Homeopathy Day, a day that serves as a global platform to make people aware about the principles and benefits of homeopathic medicines. Around 200 loggerhead turtle hatchlings that were washed up along the Western Cape coastline due to the recent heavy storms have been rescued. Britain's King Charles was presented with new banknotes featuring his portrait on Tuesday. The new banknotes will enter circulation in Britain from the 5th of June. The King's portrait will appear on 5, 10, 20 and 50-pound polymer banknotes and will be circulated alongside existing notes that feature the late Queen Elizabeth. Robert Downey Jr. hit the red carpet on Tuesday for the premiere of HBO Max's new miniseries called The Sympathizer. Based on the Pulitzer-winning novel called The Sympathizer that debuts on the 14th of April on HBO and will take viewers on an espionage ride where thrills and cross-culture satire intersects. Makers of Todd Phillips' musical psychological thriller called Joker Folia Dukes, starring Joaquin Phoenix as the titular character and Lady Gaga as Harley Quinn, released the film's trailer on Wednesday. American filmmaker George Lucas will receive an honorary Palme d'Or at the Cannes Film Festival next month on the 25th of May. Upcoming television series called The Tattooist of Auschwitz held its premiere in London on Tuesday. The series is based on the best-selling novel of the same name and inspired by a real-life love story set in the concentration camp. Kelly Rowland, Heidi Klum, Alessandra Ambrosio and other celebrities graced the red carpet at the Fashion Trust Awards on Tuesday in Beverly Hills, California. The Fashion Trust Awards is an initiative aimed at recognizing and supporting US-based designers, talent and businesses, and the winners are granted with financial support and mentorships as well. The cast and producers of action film Badi Miyan Choti Miyan recently confirmed that its release has been postponed to the 11th of April, just a day after its scheduled release that was earlier set to be on the 10th. South cinema superstar Junior NTR is reportedly gearing to join the cast of Hrithik Roshan's star of War 2. The film is being directed by Ayan Mukherjee. Bollywood actress Tabu is receiving criticism for her recent cover shoot in a popular fashion magazine. The actor sported striking blue eyeshadow with a curly hairdo and wore a black and white striped outfit with a pair of huge silver earrings. Bayern Munich striker Harry Kane returned to North London to score his customary goal against Arsenal as the first leg of the Champions League quarter-final tie that ended 2-2 on Tuesday. A six-goal thriller marked the high-voltage clash as Real Madrid and Champions League holder Man City shared a pulsating 3-3 draw in a roller-coaster quarter-final first leg on Wednesday. Spanish club Barcelona will face French club Paris Saint-Germain tonight in the first leg of their quarter-final clash. German club Borussia Dortmund will face Spanish club Atletico Madrid in another quarter-final first leg in Spain tonight. World number 1 Novak Djokovic made an emphatic start at the Monte Carlo Masters with a 6-1, 6-2 victory over Russia's Roman Safiullin to ease into the third round. Spanish tennis player Carlos Alcaraz has withdrawn from Monte Carlo Masters due to a forearm injury. The Association of Summer Olympic International Federations on Tuesday excluded the International Boxing Association and called for a new organization to take over the sport's global duties. In hockey, India went down to host Australia by 2-1 in the third match in Perth on Wednesday. With that, Australia took an unassailable 3-0 lead in the 5-match series. Pakistan named fast bowler Mohammad Amir and all-rounder Imad Wasim in their 17-player T20 squad for their home series against New Zealand. And in FIDE candidates chess tournament's fifth round, Grandmaster D. Kukesh secured a share of the lead with Russia's Ian by defeating Azerbaijan's Nijat Abasov. And with this, it's a wrap here on Express News for now, but news and updates will continue here on DD India. So don't go anywhere, keep watching and keep tracking DD India for all latest news and updates from the country and the world. Thank you so much for joining us right now. Namaskar.